Hi friends, it's me, Silly Miss Lily, and I'm so excited to play with you today because today we're going to learn all about the bees and how they make honey. What about their dance? Will we learn how they dance? You better believe it. So let's buzz right in. Buzz, 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 buzz. Now we're in a beehive. That's unbelievable. Whoa, there's so many bees. Did you know that in a beehive, different bees have many different jobs? Yeah, I'll show you. These are the drones. They're the male bees in a hive, and they don't do any of the work like gathering nectar or make honey or care for the young, and they don't even have stingers. Most of the jobs are held by the female bees. So, there are nurse bees who take care of the little baby bees. Shh, the baby's sleeping. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Builder bees who build the honeycomb with wax from their bellies. Build, buzz, build, buzz, build, buzz, build, buzz, build, buzz. Guard bees protect the hive entrance. Buzz off, bees only. No nectar, no entrance. Cleaner bees who scrub every little cell. Buzz and clean, buzz and clean, buzz, 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 buzz and clean. Forager bees fly out to find nectar. And of course, there's the queen bee who lays all the little bee eggs so more little bees can hatch. Buzz, buzz, I've laid all these eggs. Buzz, 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 Buzzington. Buzz, 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 buzz. Wow, there are so many different jobs in a beehive. Today we're over at Cedar Hill Honey Farm and we're gonna explore the bees, learn about the honey making. First, let's put on our beekeeper suit to make sure we're staying safe, and we'll find a beekeeper named Jenna to tell us all about her bees and show us around the farm. Come on. Huh? Okay. Oh, and here comes beekeeper Jenna. Let's ask her all the questions about the bee farm and the bees.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
It's so nice to meet you. We're so happy to be here at your farm. Could you tell us about everything you do and how do you help the bees, how you got started?
Yeah, thanks for being here and welcome. I've been doing this for 6 years.
Wow.
And I got started because it was just a good thing to do. We have tons of flowers on the farm and trees out back, peach trees, apple trees. I'm trying to do a blueberry row. So I wanted to welcome the bees here to do their work and help me do my work.
Yay, thank you for doing that. I'd love to learn about the bees because I heard there's the queen bee, the guard bee, the baby bee. So how do they choose their positions? How do they choose their jobs?
So it all goes based on your age. So the first job when you're born is to go clean your room. They clean out the cell that they were born in.
Wow. It's important to clean your room, even as babies.
Yes, that's true. The first thing. And then there are other jobs. You can guard the front door. There's nurse bees, bees that feed the bee bread to the baby bees. That's a job. I don't remember the order, but I know the final job that you would do is go grocery shopping. Those are all the bees that are out and about on flowers to bring back home the nectar and the pollen to everybody else. Those are all the grandmas.
Wow. How do they make that design, that beeswax design?
That's a very intricate design. It says the hexagon, right?
Yeah.
6 sides. That is the strongest way to hold and stack liquid. Oh. It's very fascinating. It's a good math equation. But that's the strongest way to hold liquid. So they make it with beeswax. It comes out of glands in their abdomen.
So they produce and create that kind of beeswaxy type, okay?
Yes. It comes out of glands, and then everyone in there is sisters, right? So they take it off of each other, take it off of their sisters, and they
work together.
yes, and they use their mouths, and they front legs to put it into that hexagon shape, and that will be where they have the baby bees hatch from, and it's also where they store their food, the honey.
So how does it all start? So a queen bee says he creates the bees, and then they find a place to start making the beeswax to create that hexagon shapes. And then is that when they start filling it with the honey?
Yes, in the spring, when the flowers come alive, is when they're able to go out and get nectar from the flowers and bring that back and start processing it into honey.
And then what do they do with that pollen? Is that part of the honey?
It goes into the bee bread, and then that's what they'll use to feed the baby bees.
Very cool. Are we able to take a peek inside? Are we?
Sure, yeah, we'll suit up all the rest of the way.
Okay,
We can do it.
Okay. You know what's kind of interesting is also the shape that the bees use for their beehive, and they use the shape of a hexagon. A hexagon has 6 different sides, and what's so interesting, when they're put together, they fit together so well. There's no space in between them, so no space is actually ever wasted in a beehive. Because if they were, let's say, if they were circles next to one another, right? Little by little, they would waste all of this little space in between. But bees don't waste anything, not even space, and so they design their cells in the shape of a hexagon, so they fit together so well, no space is wasted. They're super hardworking architects or builders, right? Building their little beehive. So how do bees make honey? What a great question, Cotton Socks. When the forager bees go out to find the flowers, they use what's called a proboscis to kind of get that nectar from a flower. A proboscis is almost like a straw. You know when you drink some juice? That's what the bees do. They use their proboscis to drink the nectar from the flower. I'll show you. Let's pour in some juice in this cup. And so what the bees do, they use their proboscis to kind of drink it up. And then they store it in their honey stomach. It's like a backpack for honey called crop. So they drink it up, store it in their little honey stomach. Then when they're back in the hive, they pass that nectar from bee to bee in a process called trophallaxis. And that's when it goes from one bee to another, and each one's kind of adding different enzymes to turn the nectar juice into the honey. So it looks something like this. If this was the nectar on our flower, and this will be one of the cells in the beehive, when one of the bees drinks it up, drinks the nectar, puts it inside in their little honey stomach or the crop. Then they go back to the hive, share it back and forth between bee to bee to bee, and then when it's ready, they put it in an empty cell in their hive, full of the enzymes, and then they flap their wings all around, thickening it up so it makes into that gooey, kind of syrupy honey. And once it's all the way full, they cap it with the wax. So it's kind of like they're making their own little honey soup. But they use the proboscis to kind of drink up the honey, then carry it over, and then through a process called trophallaxis, they kind of mix the nectar back and forth, adding the enzymes until it's ready for the cell in the hive. And then they cap it with the wax, and it's ready to go. That's what helps them store it for the winter. I'm a little bee. I'm gonna drink my nectar with my proboscis. Delicious nectar.
May I show you how it works with the pollen?
Would you? Yeah, tell me about it.
Yes, so it deals like this. I'll show you for this one.
Yeah.
I just add a little extra pollen.
So good, yes.
So it deals like this.
Tell me. Little bee comes over. It's just getting some nectar, huh? But it's also getting pollen on it because it's so fuzzy. Wow. I guess being fuzzy is really helpful. Whoa.
This is the smoker. This is the first step of getting ready to check your hives, is to put your suit on and get your smoker ready. The smoke helps make it harder for them to yell that there's danger to each other. So it makes them a little more calm when you're coming.
Okay.
Because it's just not as easy for the smell of danger that they'll put out to reach everybody else.
Oh, so
So it's a good thing to hide the smell?
This is doing really well today.
Yes, and you should smoke yourselves a little bit in case someone stung you the time before.
Because they can smell it from the previous. Wow.
Yep. So you're ready to go check a hive.
Yay! And Jenna, why do we want to wear this suit? Can you tell us the importance and safety of it?
This is so that you don't get a bee sting. They can't fly through this mesh around your face. Bee vision is a little bit different than ours, but they can see your eyes, especially if you have sunglasses on. They can really see your eyes, and so that's where they're going to want to sting you.
Ooh.
And the other sense that is really powerful on a bee is their sense of smell. They can even smell the CO2 in your breath that you exhale.
Wow.
So we want to protect our face because they know that that's where we're most vulnerable.
Wow.
And so that's a good place to make an attack.
Wow, okay.
So the first thing that we're going to do is put some smoke into the front door. There are guard bees inside of there that are, their job is to protect the hive from intruders, and we're about to be an intruder from the top.
Okay.
The hive is kind of a replacement of their natural house, which would be inside of an old dead hollow tree, kind of like on Pooh Bear, right? He sticks his arm down in to get the honey. That is their natural house, is a tree.
Oh, yeah.
So this is kind of a replacement for that. So we're gonna put some smoke at the front door to tell everyone that we come in peace.
Bees, we come in peace.
Here's your hive tool. This is the beekeeper's main tool. And so you're gonna come over here. We try to do everything from the back because they are gonna be flying in and out of here. And so they're not really meaning to sting you. I know I was joking that they would attack your face, but they're really not meaning to sting you. So if they're flying through here, they could hit you on accident just trying to go home. Just on
Are they about to like rush out? Are they about to swarm out? Okay.
Yeah.
Look, you can start seeing some of that little, so this is that came from their glands as well.
That's the propolis from the tree sap. And yeah, there's beeswax mixed into there too, I bet you. Yep.
Wow. Oh, I hear them.
This is the hive tool, so we just pry a
Oh my
frame
gosh.
up. Okay. This is all honey. And this is capped, so it is actually honey. Down here you see this shiny stuff? That's fresh nectar. So that's the nectar they brought home from flowers, and they still are gonna dehydrate it. They flap their wings and dehydrate it to get it to be right to cap on and seal with with wax on top as honey.
Wait, so really
This is
quick, they
pollen.
fly out, get the nectar, bring it in, put it in one of the spacing, flap their wings to kind of dry it, mix it, turn it into that honey texture that once it's full, they cap it. Like they're jarring their own honey for the winter, they put a cap on it, that one's filled, they go to the next one.
You got it, Miss Lily, that's right.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you see, that's so cool. Look at that. And they're just busy working.
Bigger bees are the male bees.
And you said those are the drone bees?
Yes. They do not even have a stinger.
And so right now, it looks like they have their tip in. What was the front part called?
Proboscis, they're probably regurgitating the nectar that they brought back.
Okay. And that's
Into
kind
the
of
cell.
what turns it into the mixture?
Yep, adding more nectar to the mixture. Yep.
Wow.
These colored cells are pollen, so this could be bee bread that
And
they're
that's
bringing home.
more solid that they use to feed their babies?
And this is a perfect little chunk of pollen that fell off of somebody's leg. See that circle right there?
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
what
my
it
gosh,
will
that's
look like.
giant.
Yep.
So is that like the baskets they have on their back legs?
It is. Yep, that's what would be on their legs. So it is.
And is any of this not, like, do they go to bee school to learn all of this?
Nope. They know it from day one.
Wow.
Yep. So this is all beautiful nectar that they have brought home.
Oh my gosh, I see the liquidy part. I see it. Good job working so hard, bees. Now, do the bees have same vision as us? Are they able to see all the same things and flowers or colors?
Bees cannot see the color red, so they don't go to red flowers.
So if somebody was trying to get their red flowers pollinated in their garden, probably wouldn't happen with the bees.
Right.
Ask a hummingbird.
Yes.
Okay. They make so much honey. How do they create that cap on top? Is that similar material as that waxy?
Yes, that's wax capping on top.
So then when you go through the process of getting it out,
We scrape this off.
What did the bees
top
say about that?
surface. Not very happy.
Okay. How many bees would you say you have in here right now?
Probably 20,000 or so.
How many are usually in a beehive?
It can be, a smaller hive would be 20,000 or 80,000 at the stronger time of the year.
And how long does it take for them to make that honey? Like, what does that process look like from the nectar becoming to the honey ready for the scraping?
So, good question. They bring it home starting in the spring when everything starts to bloom, and then they dehydrate it and cap it. Beekeepers, we usually leave everything in here for these bottom boxes just for them to have, and then we only harvest from the top couple of boxes. But once they get all of those frames on top that are only honey, once they get all of those done, which takes all season long and so many trips to the fields. Oh gosh,
Oh my gosh, they are.
Camera.
We are got bees. It's serious business here. So for them to get that nectar, if they had like a straw, essentially they're flying to the flower, land on it to get a little nectar, suck it up, bring it back, push it back out, then they gotta go make another trip and another trip. And how many trips do you know does it take for them to fill one cap?
I think their whole lifetime can be one tiny little teaspoon. It's their primary focus. They all work together to get all the jobs done.
How far away can a bee travel and return back to its honeycomb if it's looking for the food or flowers? Like up to how many miles?
They usually go 3 miles to 5 miles or so. They're going to try to hit up the local grocery stores first, but they can go up to 8 miles.
Wow.
If they will, especially if there's a really nice patch of something. They're the only bug that will pollinate blueberries, so if there's an awesome blueberry farm, they for sure will travel up to 8 miles for that.
Oh yeah.
What's really cool about bees is that they use a little wiggle dance to communicate to other bees to let them know if they have found a really great place of flowers or fruit trees for their nectar. And they use a little kind of number 8 shape wiggle dance that they do it in, and there's different things you can learn from the little dance. For example, if the flowers or the nectar source, like the food source, is located upward or north from their beehive, the bumblebee will dance following the direction of the flowers to let the other bees know, hey, if you go, I'll start dancing like this, going up, and then I'll go around, up, wiggle, wiggle, go around, up, saying, hey, I'm doing this dance to let you know that if you follow this direction out of the beehive, you'll find a really yummy flower patch. And so it keeps going in this wiggle dance to let them know, hey, flowers, this direction. Now the wiggle also has important information. So for example, if this wiggle direction is really short, making it a shorter 8, that would mean that the food source is really close by. Now, if this is a really long wiggle dance, and this part's really long, so the bee here in the middle is going wiggle, 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 wiggle for a really long time, that means that the food source is further away. And it keeps dancing in this number 8 wiggle dance. And then the way they wiggle, it also says a lot about the food source. So if they're doing a really kind of small wiggle, it's like, hey, maybe only a little bit of sugar, maybe only like a little bit of nectar available. And if they're really excitingly shaking, wiggling, 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 they're saying, hey, there's a lot of really yummy nectar this way, come follow me. And the direction of the wiggle is also important. So if this was the flower in the front, they would wiggle this way. Now if this was switched and the flower and the nectars was away this way, then the bumblebee would do the dance in this direction, saying, hey, if you follow this direction, you'll find really yummy nectar. Everyone follow me. And it switches because if the beehive's here, but the flowers and the nectar source was now here on the side, they would start doing the dance towards that direction to say, hey, follow me, everyone, wiggle this way. If we fly out, we'll find really yummy nectar. And they do this little wiggle dance to show everyone, hey, this is the way to go to get some yummy nectar to turn it into honey. Great job dancing, little bees.
Buzz, 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 we fly all day, dancing through flowers in our ballet. Dip down low to find the bloom, then up we rise with a zip, zoom, zoom. Twirl to the left, twirl to the right, waggle your tail and keep it light. Bee ballet, we glide with glee, out in the garden, 1, 2, 3. On the petals we tiptoe, show the hive which way to go. Wiggle, waggle, it's our way to share sweet nectar each and every day. Twirl to the left, twirl to the right, waggle your tail and keep it light. Bee ballet, we glide with glee, out in the garden, 1, 2, 3. Twirl to the left, twirl to the right, waggle your tail, you're doing just fine. Twirl to the left, twirl to the right, waggle your tail and keep it light. Bee ballet, what fun we see, dancing around like bees, you and me.
Here's a fun little bee craft you can do at home. If you have yellow and black pipe cleaners, you can wrap them around your finger to make little yellow black stripes like a little bumblebee. We've got our stripes. You can set it on a little stick. Buzz, buzz, bumblebee. And then with smaller little pipe cleaners, we can give our bumblebees little legs so they can land on cute little flowers. Buzz, buzz, bumblebee. You can also do it similarly with a little pom-pom and wrap your pipe cleaner around it for the stripes. And you know what's great? Bees make really great pollinators. Pollinating is what our fruit trees and vegetables need to give fruit and vegetables. When flowers grow, they get little pollen on them. And for the fruit to grow, the pollen or the fruit tree needs to be pollinated. So let's use glitter as pollen. And you can use this activity at home with sand or flour or glitter. And I'll show you how they pollinate when a bee lands on a flower, because they're so fuzzy. This is why actually bees make what often are called best pollinators, because as they land on the flower to drink the nectar, they get that pollen or glitter on their little legs, and since they're so fuzzy, sometimes they get it all over them on their little coat. And when they go and fly to the next flower, they put some of this new pollen on this other flower, mixing it and pollinating it. You could do it with this little craft too. Buzz, buzz, I'm here to drink some nectar with my proboscis. And then they get some pollen on them as well. They go to the next flower and mix the pollen, pollinating the flower so it's able to give fruit. This is very important for like fruit trees or any fruits or vegetables for them to grow. The bees need to pollinate them. Other pollinators do it too, like butterflies, because they'll get pollen on their wings, or like little hummingbirds or something like that. But any little bug or creature that can help take pollen from one plant and spread it to the next, mixing it will help pollinate, giving us food. So that's why bees are so important, because as they pollinate from one flower to the next, they help us grow our food. Buzz, buzz, buzz! Buzz, buzz, I want to do some. Whoa, I'm rolling in the pollen. Whee! Yay, bumblebees.
So it goes like this. We have this little craft here.
Tell me about it.
Just get a little extra pollen everywhere.
Sure. So tell me how it works, because I haven't seen.
So it goes like this. I'll use this bee to the small furry.
Okay.
It goes like this.
Little bee lands on the flower, brings pollen everywhere, and back to the hive. So it's
The furry. So the fur makes it stick.
Oh, like the fuzziness of it. That's why they make such good pollinators, I bet. Let's go sprinkle some pollen like we're little bees. You ready? Buzz, 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 buzz. Buzz, 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 buzz. Look at all of these bees. How many baby bees will a queen bee lay?
The queen can make up to 1,000 babies a day.
And how do the bees choose a queen? Or make a queen?
If the bees need a queen, they can feed a fresh egg the right diet and to turn it into a queen if they needed to.
So only those babies who eat that specific food can become a queen bee?
Yes.
Wow. Do they like only a certain temperature?
Yes, they need to be warm in there. In the winter, they're going to be largely all together, kind of shivering in a ball together in the hive for the winter. So this is one of those signals we talked about earlier where they stand up.
He's got his booty up.
Yes, and they're opening up a gland right there in their back. You see that extra wide spot? So there's a scent coming out, and then she's waving her wings to spread that scent out to tell everybody this is the hive and come back right here.
Oh, wow.
Yep, since we took the lid off.
So for their communication, what do they use to communicate, those glands and scents?
Yes, it's mostly through scents. Also through dancing, which is a fun way to talk to a friend. And also through noise, especially the queens make different piping noises at different times.
Can you tell me about the propolis seal?
Yes, they bring it home from its tree sap mixed with beeswax, and that's what they use to seal all of these gaps in their hive. And they would use it in a real tree cavity as well. They would put the propolis inside, lining all of the tree. It's kind of like making your own good spackles on the wall. So it keeps them safe, and it also is a perfect seal on all of these cracks. So it keeps it less drafty. There's circulation within the hive already that they manage, but they want to be able to manage it intentionally and seal the majority of the cracks.
Wow. Bees, thank you for showing us your house and your beautiful honey making skills.
It's quite a relationship that we need to honor. There are some very, very easy ways to honor that as well, including for native bees. You can just leave a stick pile or like leave your leaf pile, rake your leaves maybe all together, but leave them be, for the whole winter. There's all sorts of caterpillars that will make homes in there, little wood bees that will make homes in there. And the very easy tip is to, when you're done with your jar of honey, just set it outside in your flower patch, because when the bees come for the flowers, they'll see that honey, and that's a tremendous, tremendous gift to them to just not instead rinse that down the drain, but give it back, because
it's like giving gold to them.
You really are. You're saving them so much work. Yes, like free Thanksgiving meal times 10 to be able to lick that jar clean for you.
All right, well, Jenna, thank you so much for all of your time and helping us. This is so cool.
I'm so glad you came.
Yeah, thank you.
Here's another fun bee craft you can do at home, and all you need is a little cardboard paper tube that you can paint yellow, and then you can wrap either black yarn or string around it to make the stripes, or you can also use a pipe cleaner if you'd like. Let's see, let's do a little string. And you can add some googly eyes or just draw little eyes on there. Draw little bee eyes. Hello! And then what you can do, those flowers that you can draw, or you can use flowers if you've got some. Let's see, let's secure a little bit of string from one to the other. We'll put one piece of string on one end of the flower, thread our bumblebee. Come here, little bumblebee. All right, let's secure the other part of the string on the other flower. And you made your own little bee craft where the bee goes from one flower to the next, pollinating it. Go, little bee. Buzz, 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 buzz. Yay!
Hello, now I need to go to this flower. Now I need to go to the other flower. And that other flower. Should we add a little
They're
paint?
like this.
Oh, that bee's totally flying from flower to flower. Pollen to pollen. Go, little bee.
Should we paint this flower?
Yeah, let me add a little. Do you have any pollen? Is there a bee that can bring pollen to that flower? Okay, okay. How are we gonna get you, little flower, if you're just dangling, waving? Here we go. That's gonna be so pollinated. I'm ready to
When it's
go.
windy, I like to toss my leaf.
Throw the pollen in the air. Yeah, so magical.
Here's another fun little bee craft you can make and kind of paint your own little honeycomb beehive. Let's see, I'll make it kind of upside down. Let's draw a nice little beehive. Let's see, and then we'll draw some wings. A couple of stripes, maybe smiley faces. And you can use some paint. If you get some bubble wrap and put yellow paint on it, you can make your own like honeycomb print. And you know what? First, let's make some bees with a little thumbprint. Hello, bee. Hello, bee. Hello, bee. And do little bees, little finger bees. And then with this, let's spread it all around, all around. Look at that. Let's make a little fun design and see if we can color in our honeycomb. Whoa! That looks so great. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
What's going on here? We got, I'll keep it, yeah.
I'm gonna decorate the hive with little glitter.
So cute.
I'm doing it like
That's the
this.
most glittery beehive. I love that. Oh my gosh, girl. You want to do the stamp? If you flip it and go stamp, it'll do like that beehive.
And,
Yeah, see if you can hold it this way. Yeah, and then
and
go. For
stamp. Stamp.
it. Wow.
Look.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's so fun.
You know, I just play with a little glitter.
Yeah.
Like, so like, what we like,
Pollen transfer.
like to close the tops. You like that.
So much pollen. We're like bee pollen collectors, right?
Right.
Totally.
Totally.
Wow, this was so much fun. Thank you so much for playing with me and learning with me. We learned so much about the bees, how they make honey, and even how they communicate, doing little wiggle dances, flapping their wings. Honeybees are so wonderful to learn about. And next time you see a little honeybee, make sure to wave and say, "Hi, honeybee, thanks for the honey." All right, well, this is the end of this video, but if you're looking for more of our videos, make sure to search for Paisley's Corner with Silly Miss Lily, and I'll see you then. Buzz, 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 buzz. Bzzz.